Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Riveting Content. I must admit that I've been wanting to do this episode for the longest time because there was just so much happening, but I thought I'll just wait until everything happened, and then once it settles a bit, well, it's not over in its entirety, but once things settle down, then I'll just give you guys the entire breakdown of what is going on. Okay, so first of all, let's start off with the It Ends With Us film. The movie was released last year in 2024. I have seen the movie personally because I was a Blake Lively fan, but not like a super fan. Like, I'm familiar with Blake Lively because of the Gossip Girl series, and I'm also familiar with Justin Baldoni because I watched a little series that he was one of the main stars in. I think it was called Jane the Virgin, if I could remember correctly. And so I'm familiar with both of them, and that's why when I saw the movie dropped, I was like, oh, quite an interesting pair. And I watched the movie, and the movie was about sexual and emotional abuse, and the characters were played by obviously Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni were the main characters. Justin Baldoni plays as this neurosurgeon, this rich fancy guy and Blake Lively is this chick that he meets and he falls in love with, and they end up getting married, but then abuse happened, and there's also like a little love triangle thing going on as well, so check it out if you haven't. It wasn't the best movie, but I mean, it was cool. They were telling a story and they did that, so yeah, it was cool. I would give it a 6 out of 10 as a rating. Anyway, so then Christmas Eve of 2024, Blake Lively files a complaint against Justin Baldoni alleging sexual harassment and all these other claims, and the world loses their minds. What's even crazy about it is that the New York Times had posted an entire article about these allegations and the complaint made by Blake Lively. So, and it looked like this was all well and prepared in advance before they actually went full on blast against Justin Baldoni, and things went crazy. Everyone was upset with Justin Baldoni. Everyone took the side of Blake Lively immediately. They believed her. As you guys know, the Me Too movement is all about believing women, standing with women. Women are victims. People were harassing Justin Baldoni. He lost movie deals. I believe his agency dropped him as well. Like, this guy went through the most. And I mean, all this happening around Christmas time. I'm sure his family, this Christmas was obviously ruined, and I'm sure his family were going through the most of the time, and that was sad. And yeah, but then guys, we all believed Blake Lively. We thought that Justin Baldoni is this evil guy, and we're just gonna go against him, and he's gonna lose this battle. But then what happens is, every complaint that Blake Lively put out against Justin Baldoni was debunked because Justin Baldoni then released receipts of these incidences. So for example, Blake Lively in one of the complaints that she had put down, it said that she was breastfeeding on the set of the movie, and Justin Baldoni just barged in there while she was breastfeeding, barge into a dressing room while she was breastfeeding, and then like speaking to her or trying to read lines while she was doing this, and she thought that was like a violation of her privacy, blah blah blah. But then Justin Baldoni releases text messages from Blake Lively, where she actually invited him into the room before, when she said, when he messaged her asking, oh, like, please let me know when we can go over these lines. And then she was like, yeah, it's cool, just come over to my dressing room, I'm just feeding the little one, just pop in and we can read the lines while I'm feeding. Interesting. The next one, the complaints that she filed was, she said that there was a scene in the movie where they weren't supposed to be speaking, but Justin Baldoni kept speaking about like he was out of character, and he was like, she was basically insinuating that he was like giving, like, sexually insulting her with his words, I would say. Oh my. Justin Baldoni then releases the footage of that exact scene that Blake Lively was referring to with the audio. And I do not think that, apparently it was said that Blake Lively had no idea that they actually saved these clips. Like, everything was recorded on set and she had no idea. This guy really released the audio and people started going crazy, like, because we could see what was going on, we could hear what was being said, and there was no, like, for me personally watching that, like, I couldn't pick up anything that shows that she was being like sexually harassed in any way or violated. I mean, if you felt that strong about your feelings of you being assaulted, why would you still entertain him in that moment? You could have easily said, no, let's stop, I'm not doing this, I don't feel comfortable, blah blah blah. But this chick looked like she was busy falling in love with this guy. I know it was a movie scene, they were acting and stuff, but it looked legit like and he was actually speaking about his wife, like trying to make it more comfortable, because it kind of looked uncomfortable. They were having like it was like a romantic kind of scene, but to make it more like relaxed and comfortable for the both of them, I guess Justin Baldoni actually he spoke about his wife, and so it's not that awkward, and they were laughing and giggling together. There were no signs of her seeming to be uncomfortable and being sexually violated or harassed in that specific scene. So he debunked that as well by providing the video. And then, what's crazy, I saw I'm not sure if it was a Blake Lively lawyer or one of these Blake Lively superfans. She went on this show and she actually said, well, the clip that was released actually shows that she was uncomfortable and she was just pretending to be comfortable and giggling and stuff in the moment. These are normal traits of victims. They just pretend and go on with whatever they need to do. So the perpetrator, I guess, wouldn't know that they're actually feeling that way. Bullshit, guys. I'm not falling for that. Like, that's just, come on, y'all. Okay, so that was another complaint that was filed by Blake Lively, and Justin Baldoni debunked that as well. And there were so many other things, guys, that she alleges, and this guy had receipts for. I mean, his team actually put up. Okay, before I go there, then after Justin Baldoni released the footage and the text messages in its entirety, because apparently when the New York Times posted the article, they left out certain parts of the text, so they didn't put out the text in its entirety, so you can't really get to the context of these texts because it wasn't posted in its entirety, which is very, very suspicious. So then, guys, Justin Baldoni comes out guns blazing, files a lawsuit against Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds and sues them for $400 million. Also files a lawsuit against the New York Times, which he should. I mean, this guy suffered trauma. You don't know what his family was going through. He suffered financial losses. Like, guy, get that money back at all means possible. Do what you need to do. These people were playing with your lives. Like, this is not a joke, guys. To accuse someone of sexual assault, of sexual harassment, like, his career could have, like, was over, right? If he hadn't had these receipts, like, we would have all believed Blake Lively, it's all about me too, it's all about the woman being right, the women are the victims, blah 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 blah, life goes on. This guy would have lost his entire life, who knows? And you know how these things trickle down to your family, like, then there's relationships with your family and your household. The wife and husband has issues there because of money issues, and then they get divorced, blah blah blah. Like, you could have lost his entire life, and for people to think that this is normal, you guys have a flipping problem. Like, this is not normal. I think he did what he needs and is supposed to do, and I think Blake Lively is gonna have a very, very tough year ahead. So yeah, so that's that. Justin Baldoni then filed a lawsuit against Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, and then the New York Times as well. Then Blake Lively then heads to the Blake Lively's team heads to court and tries to put a gag order on Justin Baldoni, because remember, he has been putting out receipts, and they don't want to do this because it's gonna kill Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' image because of everything that they were saying that he did, and he's killing all these allegations, and they don't like this, right? So they head to court and they try to put a gag order on Justin Baldoni and his team so that they would stop putting out the receipts, right? And the judge actually denies this, so there's no gag order, but the judge does warn both sides that they should be cautious of what they put out there, because it could affect the jury in some way. Yeah, something like that. So I guess the Blake Lively team aren't happy, and then Justin Baldoni's team creates an entire website and releases all of the text messages and uploads all the receipts to counter the complaints that was put out in Blake Lively's filing. And we now at the point where we're waiting for the trial to begin. I'm not sure if it's ever going to go to trial. It seems most of the people are saying that it's most likely that they are going to settle, and I think for Blake Lively's sake and for Ryan Reynolds' sake, I think they should just settle, because if this goes to trial, it's going to become this big Johnny Depp and Amber Heard kind of situation where the media is going to go wild and they're going to scrutinize every single thing that you say, guys, and you don't want that, because the media can kill you sometimes. So now we're at the point of waiting for this trial to begin so we can get this over and done with, but I don't think we're ever gonna get to that. But this has been such an important and interesting story in Hollywood, with all these A-list and D-list actors, and like there's so many articles about the story online. You can read about how all his co-stars dropped him. Justin Baldoni, I think it was, he has a podcast with some woman, and as soon as Blake Lively put this complaint, his co-star from the podcast, she just dropped him, and she removed all the videos on the YouTube page of them together. They are also talks about him, about his other, the love interest in the Ends With Us film. I'm not familiar. I'm not Brandon Sickler or something like that. How he also pandered to the Blake Lively side as soon as these allegations dropped, and then when people were digging deep, they found out that it was kind of weird that Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively were actually following these people and have some kind of business relationship, or maybe offer them some deals if they would stand with them. So I mean, you know how Hollywood is. They suck up to you if they feel that you are the more A-list, you are more important, I guess. In Hollywood, they would suck up to you just to get more gigs. So it's really sad to see that people that Justin Baldoni worked with, they just like literally believed Blake Lively as soon as she filed a complaint. Like, guys, what happened to loyalty and like good friendships? Like, if it was my best friend, not even best friend, but friends of mine, I would hope that they would, and damning allegations have been dropped against me. I would hope that they would maybe stick out and wait for at least more evidence to be provided, but not just listen and read an allegation that was put out and just be like, yeah, I'm dropping this bitch. Like, guys, what happened to loyalty and friendships? Like, I feel like everybody nowadays, you have to be careful of who you are friends with. You have to, because people just want to use you. People are only friends with you if you maybe have money. They want to use you for certain things. So yeah, it's a scary world that we live in, but that's the situation right now. And that's all I'm gonna give you guys on this story today. There's so much more that I haven't really gotten into. Like, I haven't even touched on Taylor Swift being involved and all these other things surrounding Taylor Swift, and how she got involved with the movie, and how all of a sudden she's saying, no, like, I wasn't involved and I feel like I've been used by Blake Lively, blah blah blah, and Blake Lively referring to herself as Khaleesi, and how she has these dragons, Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift, who would fight for her. I never even got into that, but yeah, we'll get into that on the next episode. And I hope you guys like and subscribe, and come back for some more tea on the next episode of Rippling Content.